Big Boy Musket. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Postgame show presented by Bet365. We are live. J. Mike and Rudo coming to you as the Avs beat the Montreal Canadiens 7-2. Just the third touchdown of the month for the Colorado Avalanche. Pretty good stuff from a hockey team. It's never a bad day when your NHL team scores a touchdown. Dominant performance. Hard not to feel great about everything. Yeah, it's a hockey game. Not everything's perfect, but after losing a game the other night, the Avs punch back immediately, and you go back to not worrying about anything for the most part.
I think you saw what you hoped to see in this one, which was a nice response. You jumped out to a dominant lead. You didn't have to play from behind. You didn't do a bunch of dumb stuff in this one. Didn't make it a game unnecessarily. Credit Montreal, came out firing, but
didn't work.
Did not work.
And then they went away, sort of, at times.
And they were chasing, really, the rest of the game.
You're not wrong. And hard to do. Avs set themselves up for success. They did, in fact, find that success. I'm going to do my best to fit this into 60 seconds, but there's a lot of goals, so we'll do the 60-second rundown and see where I end up. First period, mentioned by J. Mike, first 5 minutes, Montreal really did push. Probably the best stretch of the game for them, but the Avs survived. Some good play from Blackwood, and then Brock Nelson breaks through for the first goal of the game off of a nice finish, and that's followed up a handful of minutes later by weird goal. We'll talk about it. Landy ends up getting credit for it. Maybe technically didn't even go in the net. Avs are up 2-0 after one. You love that. They start immediately in the second period with Brent Burns, the defense, getting involved to make it 3-0. Brock Nelson scores again. We'll talk about Brock a lot. That makes it 4-0. Finally, Montreal gets on the board, and it is essentially meaningless as they don't have any other follow-up. It's 4-1 until the last minute of the second, where Nathan McKinnon makes it 5-1. Game was over there. Third period, mostly academic, but Toews finally gets on the board with his first goal of the season, too, and then both teams trade power play goals, with Landy making it a multi-goal night for him. Hey, look, I made it. Not bad. For a 7-2 game, pretty good.
Oh, captain, my captain.
I mean, I know we'll talk about it more later, but there is a genuine conversation that I don't know about the whole streak the Avs have been on, but for the last 2 weeks of it, Gabe Landeskog might be their best player.
He's all the way back. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think there was some offensive rust early on. The hands obviously took a while to come back, but we're seeing him do old school classic Landy stuff at this point.
And that's the thing for me. The first goal is weird and whatever. It's a nothing goal, really. It makes it 7-2 on the power play. But vintage Landeskog, great tip, net front, the exact type of stuff you've been waiting to see this season from Landy. Combine that with the game he had last night, combine that with the quality of play, and he's back.
I just think you open up the element of the offense, you get that roaring again like it was a couple years ago with the firepower you've already got going. I don't know how you defend this team at some point.
Apparently you don't, based on this game.
Opposing teams don't either, to be fair.
I don't know. Like, I feel bad for Montreal, because what do you do in this game? Like, where do you look at your game and say, oh, we really could have done this better? And of course you could say, well, defend better. But so many of these goals are not that Montreal played perfect defense, but the Avs creating stuff that there aren't many teams in the league that are going to be able to stop.
It just felt like the execution passing this evening. I keep saying tonight, you know what I mean?
It was
It was perfect. Like, they placed
game,
every puck
tonight.
Yeah.
Like, but I fully agree with what you're saying. I think the Avs have maybe not had the best execution for a significant portion of this stretch that they've been on, and they're winning anyway because they're just so good. But tonight, you look at some of those goals and just go, that's
They're
why
really
they do
good.
it. Yeah.
There's a reason they're 11-0-2 this month.
Yeah. I have not had a regulation loss in the month of November.
That's asinine.
What?
Everything this team is doing, though. And I mean, you look at the streaks, and he just gets his point streak at home. And Nate with 20 goals in 25 games. Like this, it's just hard to find stuff unless you want to nitpick. I mean, obviously, I hated the penalty that Toews took in the third period. If we want to whine about something,
I mean,
that's where we're at, though.
Yeah, that's how deep the nitpick is. It was at the time 6-1 game,
and I feel like Montreal came out and they really made that early push.
Absolutely.
And then Blackwood, credit him, made 2, even 3 really impressive saves in the moment. Was seeing the puck well, was moving well, covering a ton of ground. And it just kind of felt like after not scoring on that push, and then Brock just ripping one past like right after that, and it was, oh, okay, we're going to lose this game. And they did. Montreal
had 12 shots in the first period. They had 11 shots in the rest of the game. And to amplify that even more, Montreal actually had 10 shots in the first 10 minutes of the first period.
I remember looking up at one point and the shots were like 12-12, and that was after the Avs had kind of responded and taken control. And like, it does not feel like the shots are even in this game.
Yep. And they ended 36-23 in the Avs' favor. Look, a good portion of this is Montreal absolutely went away. Acknowledge that. But the Avs understood the assignment. This is a 3rd and 4 for both teams. They got ahead by multiple goals in the first period, and they got to get away with it from there. I mean,
and especially at home, like there's just that's human nature. The inevitability of this team starts to set in, and you go down 2-3 goals against Colorado in Colorado. I don't think there's a lot of teams that are going to have the mental bandwidth, especially playing multiple games in multiple days to pull that one out.
The Avs are too good for teams to get punished by their mistakes. And we've seen a lot of nights this year where the Avs, maybe they're up against a good goalie, maybe they're playing sloppy, whatever it is, they have to grit it out, grind it out, and really generate a high number of chances to convert and find their way to a win on the offensive side.
Today they just scored.
Yeah, they absolutely did not need to do that tonight. Yeah. They got their chances, they took advantage of them, they finished. And then they generated a bunch of high dangers anyway, and that's how you get a 7-goal game.
I feel like every time they had a chance to push the pace and really, put Montreal on their heels, they did a great job of that.
Yeah.
You're going to give us the puck here with space in the middle of the ice? That's dumb.
Go. Yeah, we go fast. I probably deserve more credit than I'm giving the Avs there because they're on a 3-4 too, and their legs found that jump to consistently pressure Montreal in those situations. And Montreal just couldn't hang, frankly. Not that Montreal isn't fun. Not that they even aren't a good team.
It's a good club.
I think they're a solid NHL team this year. Probably a playoff team. The East is so crazy competitive. Who knows? But the Avs just went out there and embarrassed them, to be honest. This was a shellacking for 55 minutes. And you expect, especially in the NHL, you expect a little bit of punchback. There was
never really came.
Not a lot of punchback from Montreal tonight in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I know they scored a couple of goals, but this was not a game where they were all that competitive with an Avs team that was. I mean, the Avs backed it off in the third, but when this was still even in the realm of being a hockey game, the Avs said, "We're gonna win."
There was like a 10-minute stretch in that second period where Montreal was just chasing the Avs the entire time.
It was the Avs playground.
Desperation, absolutely, trying to get the puck out of the zone and get, a change. And then here they are coming right back at us again.
And that's tough on any night, let alone when you're tired, when you're on the road, when you're exhausted. And when you look up and the guy making you chase is Nathan McKinnon, by the way. And the Avs got a little bit of everything tonight too. We'll talk about some of the specific guys higher up the lineup in the next period, but goals from your first line, goals from your second line, maybe more importantly, production points from guys all over your lineup. Kiviranta gets in with an assist tonight. Burns, obviously, with the goal on the defensive side is awesome for you. But you also saw a bunch of mixed lines that ended up creating stuff for you. Yeah, your top line did some heavy lifting. Some of that was with Landeskog. Some of that was with Lehkonen. Some of that was with weird broken lineups that the Avs just...
And by the end, they were just throwing dudes out there.
But the Avs this year, I think, have found a wild amount of success. Like, there aren't a lot of teams that are like, I don't know, just play everyone in our top 9 together in any possible combination you can think of, and it just works.
And you'll still probably score.
Yeah, right. Like, that's not normal.
The success that they've had experimenting this year has been pretty impressive. And I think is a testament to Bednar. You know, we were talking... I don't remember if that was on the watch along or pregame, to be honest, when we were talking about coach's impact and how much can you actually impact in game on the fly. That type of stuff is, I think, somewhere where Bedsy's been quite impressive.
Yeah. He's always liked the blender, and, you know, over the years, some years he's had success and some maybe less. So far this year, it's probably the most successful we've seen the Avs when they jumble the lines. And
it just feels like he's pressing all the right buttons when it comes to the lineup. When they call somebody up, this no-name guy ends up balling out. The goalie decisions, he's got the finger on the pulse right now.
Top to bottom. Maybe it's a little bit easier to have the pulse when
you're this good.
16-game point streak. It feels like anything you do is made of gold at that point. But
anything is possible.
But I mean, look no further than Gabe Landeskog's usage in this game.
How many minutes was he tonight?
I don't actually know his TOI. I imagine it's pretty high. Let's take a look. For the Avs, Gabe Landeskog ended up playing 16-12. But the TOI is ridiculous in this game. The highest time on ice forward is Arturi Lehkonen, who played 18-14, which is obscenely low. And we saw at the end of the game,
top line guy.
Yeah, well, we saw at the end of the game they threw out the bottom of the lineup on the power play because the game was over and they're trying to rest.
Good sportsmanship, Bedsy.
Yeah, minimum forward time 10:23. So everybody played, everybody got their fair share of ice time, and everybody rocked.
Kind of exactly what you would want in this, right?
A+.
Back to back, weird matinee game. Let's try not to overexert anybody. Let's get everybody involved.
Yep. And defensive side, not all that different. Kale did lead time on ice with 21, which I think the second time in this stretch this has happened, but for Kale, that's like no minutes. Second most, Sam Malinsky broke the 20-minute mark. So a little bit of an adjustment in usage there on that side. Brent Burns also broke the 20-minute mark. Your low man was actually Devon Toews with 16:36, and this was probably one of the best.
He would have been
games
closer
from
to
Devon
18
Toews
if he wasn't in the box.
Yeah, true. But I think this is where you really start to see sneaky gains from a really good team. When they find ways to get nights like tonight where they can get everyone a couple of extra minutes off, when they can find those extra bits of rest. I know there's a lot of worry in the Avsosphere about how you don't want them to win the President's Trophy because they're going to have to work way too hard to get it. Nights like tonight are proof that the Avs can get to a President's Trophy while not overexerting themselves.
Yeah, I think it's easy to oversimplify those types of conversations. It's like, well, it depends on, every game is different. Every minute you play is different. Is it high stress minutes trying to grind into the playoffs can be more challenging than,
for sure,
pushing for the one.
Yep.
I'm of the belief of if you have an opportunity to push for home field in any sport, it's worth it. Now, obviously, there are times you want to rest them.
Of course.
And there are going to be stretches. Hopefully
be so
they
good
have
that you do both. Yeah,
exactly. I don't care if you break any records for points or anything like that.
I'm not about that life for sure. I'm sitting here trying to actually rack my brain for proper negatives in this game. And you gave up 2 goals, but who cares? Those aren't particularly meaningful. You held the Canadiens team to just 23 shots
and they had to stretch to get that.
Yeah, your mission accomplished. When we talked in the pregame about how this is a team that shouldn't generate much and all you have to do is really prevent their shooters from being all that dangerous, That's more or less what the Avs did tonight.
You had two instances where you let them get them off.
Yeah.
Great shots on both of them.
Yeah. And
especially the first one. But.
Okay, cool. You more than outscored that problem. And the other handful of high danger chances you gave up, your goalie was there for you.
Blackwood was awesome.
That's what a hockey team looks like. A very good hockey team, in fact. That's what they look like.
This team's just so much fun right now.
It's a blast, dude. This is a top to bottom. Everything is going well, and obviously that's fun. But this is also a team that feels different than the last couple of years. I think it feels similar to the end of 22 and the end of the regular season, the cup run. Not the part where they just rested everybody and went 4-5-1, but they have that aura around them that just feels like even if they're not going to win tonight, they are going to make the other team work their butts off, and they're just
relentless.
Yeah.
Because not only are they talented, but they do the little things.
So many of them.
And they get so much production across the board from those second and third lines that it's just,
yep.
It's like an Avalanche.
Yeah. It's a great way to phrase it. As a team, I genuinely don't think I can find a overarching negative from this game.
You would have liked to have scored on one of those earlier power plays,
sure.
But the process was good. And again, I mean,
they did technically score on one.
Yeah, the numbers look good in the end.
Yeah, and
I mean, they do need to find a way to score more with consistency. We've said it a million times. We'll keep saying it until that turns. But when you're winning 7-2, and when you're this dominant in 5-on-5,
yeah. What more can you ask for? I don't know. I'm sure someone in chat will find something to ask for, but
I don't know, man. I could ask for some Canes right now.
Dude, it's like not even that late. Very much
starving.
A lunch, dinner Canes. I'm in.
Make every meal merry this holiday season with Raisin Canes. Cooked to order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that smooth cane sauce. The holiday cheer doesn't end there. Canes is bringing the holiday classic, A Christmas Story, to life with 3 limited edition plush puppies available in restaurant or online through December 31st or while supplies last. Net proceeds benefit the Bizzell Pet Foundation. Love that. Hundreds of pet welfare organizations across the country. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. The holiday season, obviously in full swing at this point. I'm already getting like the pre-Christmas anxiety moments. So I got to get the shopping done. I got to figure out how to appease everybody and be at 8 million holiday parties and all of that fun stuff. The nice thing about Dick's Sporting Goods, I know I can get what I am looking for every time I go there. They've got the hottest apparel. They've got the best footwear in town. Nike, Adidas Original, Hoka. They've got DNVR in Dick's Sporting Goods. It's awesome. Baby. Get any gear you're looking for. Rudo and I these days, we're not that active, but maybe you got kids who are playing baseball, they're playing football, soccer, basketball, golf, you name it, they've got it. Get your gear fast. Free curbside pickup at your nearest store. Or, of course, easy shipping from Dicks.com, because every season starts at Dick's. I
stick to the tailgating parts of Dick's more than the actual athletic parts of Dick's at this point, I think.
Yeah, they got a lot of fun stuff, though, I can spend an easy 20 minutes just looking at like this is a nice folding chair. Ooh, and a cup holder?
Yeah, now we're talking. This is my language.
I'm leaning into adulthood and suburbia.
Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Let's get to the 3 stars of the game. And I think we'll have far more individuals to actually shout out than just the 3 stars as we go through this.
All the Avs are good.
Indeed.
Hit thumbs up if y'all are watching live on YouTube.
Yeah. Get us our winner shots. What are we doing here? Only at 56. Step it up. Last time Tiff got me Jameson. I want a Jaeger winner shot. Star number 3, Marty Necas.
Great game.
And I think for a guy that we felt like maybe hadn't played his best over the last 2, 3, 4 games, even if the production was there, it felt like at times a little messy, a little sloppy. You said it in the first period, J-Mike. Tonight, the execution was there. And I think Necas is a leading example of that, where the plays connected tonight. And some of that is maybe some simplification, maybe some smarter decisions. I do think Necas made the decision to shoot at times tonight, which even if the shots didn't result in goals, just keeping the other team honest. Yeah, it opens up some stuff. And then some of the passing work tonight was just elite stuff from Marty. That's when everything's clicking. You go, oh wow, this kid's really, really good.
He's so skilled.
Yep.
I understand that all of the drama of last year, I think it made it hard to kind of fully appreciate like how good of a player he actually is.
Yeah.
He is a perfect fit next to McKinnon.
Yeah. They vibe together so well, especially when things are going well. But even when, it might not be clicking, they do some frustrating stuff at times, but there's always that breakthrough play, I think, that they usually are able to get their hands on. And tonight, Marty was just doing his Globetrotter thing. The setup for Nelson's second real goal was just outrageously good. Like, how many players on the planet can go find a puck with multiple sticks around him in the high crease area and then against his body flick a puck back to Nelson for the easiest goal of Brock Nelson's career to ever score, while using his eyes to keep the stick of the defenseman on Nelson's side on the wrong spot so the passing lane to Nelson stays open. Like, it's just the amount of skill on that pass is outrageously stupid.
It's like when you see, a great quarterback look off the safety with his eyes, or, Nikola Jokic manipulating space. And I'm going to put this here, which is where you need to be to execute, but the defender's never going to see it coming because I'm not going to telegraph it.
Well, and I can do all that, and then I'll throw it into the dirt, right? Like
that too.
It's the execution on the backside of all of that makes you go, wow. And Marty had all of the execution tonight. Fun to watch. It is the words that are going to keep coming up for this hockey game. He was that. So was Nate. Oh, I'm sure we'll talk about him in a little bit. But star number 2 in this one goes to the captain himself, Gabe Landeskog, with a 3-point night. We talked about how great he was a little bit already, but the Avs are starting to build a little bit of like, I don't want to like reuse the 3-headed monster phrase, but it feels like,
let's rebrand it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're getting to that. We're starting to see the little sneakiness of Jared Bednar working it into a 3-headed monster, right? Every game, the first line starts as Natchez, Lehkonen, McKinnon. We've seen a little bit of when Bednar feels like Natchez might not be having his best game, you get McKinnon, Landy, Lehkonen. Today you got a little bit of Landy, McKinnon, Natchez. It might be a problem for the NHL.
I mean, when you factor in what Landy can do up in front of the net and the physicality that he can bring you up there, and then also trying to keep up with the pace of those two. And Cale Makar just might happen to be on the ice at some point too.
Right.
Don't forget about him back there. Again, I don't know defensively what you really do other than like, hopefully they accidentally let it go out of the zone.
Right. They have to screw up. There's nothing you can do to stop them.
But I also think there's something to be said about, we make the jokes about McKinnon and being a robot and then, not showing emotion, but it very clearly, and you can see it.
Yeah.
It means something to him to be out there with Landy, and the joy when they're able to produce together. Even when the hands weren't there earlier in the season, I kept talking about, I understand that the production isn't phenomenal right now, but there's a vibe with him being back and the energy that he brings out of everybody else that they very clearly feed off of. And now that he's also producing on top of that.
Immaculate vibes, dare I say.
Just overwhelming depth, man.
Yeah. And we've said for a long time, Landy has always been the Avs' emotional center, but that's what we mean when you go look at McKinnon's face when Landy scores. Yeah, and it's like, I think at times over the past couple of years, the Avs have forgotten that like they play a kid's game for a job and that hockey is fun.
And I think it wears on you, especially when you have back-to-back heartbreaking playoff losses.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything that you're going through.
And it's very easy for us or for the fan base to sit here and go, well, the Avs are winning a ton. Hockey's super fun. Like, this is great. It's not uncommon to see teams like put so much pressure on themselves that they're like, nothing matters. We have to win. No fun, only good.
And I think McKinnon has some of that at times.
Absolutely.
Because it's give and take. It's both what makes him one of the best players in the world and what makes him hard to deal with, I think, in the locker room at times.
But that Landy presence has
I just
kind
think
of
that's
brought
like
it
the yin
back.
and yang.
Yeah,
They balance each other so well. And I think Landy's one of the few guys who can, look at him in those moments and be like, hey man, chill out. Let's have some fun.
We just scored a sick goal. Be happy about it.
We're really freaking good.
Yeah.
This is fun. And when you have, not to get too corny, but Landy's got such a unique perspective. He was obviously always such an important presence from a leadership standpoint, but I think even more so now, just the respect that he commands in that room. Like, I don't know. I think it's almost like Peyton Manning-esque when he came to the Broncos of like, this guy it's not just about what he does out on the field, the ice. It's the presence.
You don't go through what Gabe Landeskog has gone through and just decide not to savor every moment of the hockey anymore. Landy has that perspective that he understands how special it is what the Colorado Avalanche get to do every day.
I think that's big for McKinnon and Makar, who, they're obviously still in the prime of their career and can get lost in that relentless pursuit of greatness, which I love that they have. I love the standard is what it is.
Yep.
But this is supposed to be fun. And right now this team is really fun.
No argument with any of that. Our first star of the game, yes, the captain was great, but the silver star goes to the lieutenant, Brock C. Nelson. A 4-point night for Brock. A huge game for him as an individual, yes, but also, and I know it's a bit silly to track it this closely, with a 4-point night tonight, Brock Nelson moves up to a 16 points in 25 games pace, which you always like to say, hey, you could produce more. Maybe there's more in the bag, but at 16 points in 25 games, that puts Nelson on hang on, I can do math on air, live, 52-point pace. That smidge low maybe for a 2C, but much more in the realm of, this is where you want your 2C to be as far as production is concerned.
I think from an eye test standpoint too, it's yes, if it was going to be like a 40-point season, then at some point you just have to produce more.
Yep.
But the process has been good, and now we're seeing an uptick in the production too.
And the other side of that, 8 goals.
He's finishing
25 plus goal pace on an 82 game season. That is literally the reason that he was brought in. The Avs had run through some centers that at times could do the job, but really struggled to actually be a finisher, to really have that impact on scoring goals. And if Brock Nelson's doing that for you, I mean, that's how you get to 7. It's super, super huge for the Avs to get a little bit of that. And Nelson really, obviously a 4-point night is huge, makes up for a couple of pointless games over the last few days, which, when you beat teams 1-0 in shutouts, a lot of people are going to have some pointless games. But Nelson in November has been the guy the Avalanche went out and signed. That's the dude they need. So
I think he's being the guy that you invested in.
Yeah, right. You committed to, and that version of him, that'll play all day, obviously tonight. But I mean, the month of November version of him is exactly where the Avs are happy with.
He's gonna have some fun stuff to write about to his dear Madeline.
Yeah. Only a couple tweets, and one of them was on a goal that didn't even end up being his, which I did want to talk about briefly here. It ends up getting credited to Landy. Weird goal. I really don't know what to make.
Might have been goaltender interference. Might have been a kick. Apparently was neither.
Yeah, that was also then a penalty on Montreal, and should you even count that as a goal because the net was off, clearly intentionally, or not necessarily intentionally, but clearly
if anybody
created by Montreal.
If anybody is deserving of some BS goals at this point, the man's due.
He's earned a few, to say the least. So I don't really know what to make of the situation, but you'll take it as the Avs that it counted. And let's be honest, the Avs were breaking through in this one anyway and going to find their way to those goals.
The game was, it was well within Colorado's control at that point. Just maybe not from a score standpoint, but you could feel the tide had turned.
Yeah, 100%. There was just not much that Montreal did to turn the tide or change the effect.
I think they're just
of this
gassed.
game. Yeah, it's human nature, right? You can only do so much as a human being, and especially when, all right, you felt like you had some good portions of the first period and things didn't go your way, you're down 2. That's a tough spot. You give up a goal 50 seconds into the second period, and it's like, okay, maybe it's just not our night, boys.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
It's tough.
Start looking up, what movies are streaming?
Yeah,
what am I going to watch? Christmas movies on Hulu yet? Or
when do we get to fly home?
what's the post-game dinner?
It's worth noting that, like, Montreal is not in the best stretch of their season, but they
came in a couple wins in a row.
Yeah, they were finding ways to win on this road trip that they were on, and
then they got avsed.
Yeah, well, especially going to Colorado is where, like, teams' good vibes go to die right now. The Avs on home ice are not just beating teams, they're shellacking people.
Vibes are immaculate.
If only they can stay this way forever.
I hope you guys are making money on this.
It's really not that hard. Even I hit a bet today, and I picked crazy stuff.
Which one did you hit? The saves?
Yeah, I hit Blackwood over saves, which was my safe one. But
well, Bet365 is the proud partner of the Colorado Avalanche, and with the Bet365 early payout offer, if your team goes up a couple of goals, 3-goal lead, you get paid out instantly.
Boom.
The Avs do that a lot.
Yeah, you could have reinvested that and hit the over again in this game and hit it probably.
I want to see like a meme of the dude from Wolf of Wall Street, like explaining it. Make that money with our friends at Bet365. Again, they've got a lot of really fun promos on there, but the Bet365 early payout offer, if you're an Avs fan, it is especially fruitful. They go up 3, you win, even if they happen to collapse and blow the game. Doesn't matter. You already got paid. Shout out Bet365. New customers get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and up, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants to help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today.
Do that. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, it's good to have fun in life. Good to set up with that. But sometimes you got to worry about your business, too. Make sure
business savvy.
Business.
Thinking big picture. Making moves.
I'm not any of that. So that's why I make sure to use Shopify to do all the hard work for me.
Thank God they exist. I don't know. I mean, we use them for our merch site.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of people in DNVR who would be running any Wall Street.
No chance.
If you're ready to sell, man, you're ready for Shopify. Shopify's got you covered with website creation, product descriptions, email and social media marketing, and more. They have AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. If you were going to start a business, what would you do, though? I don't know. They sell Pokemon cards. Shopify would be great for that, to be fair. Shopify would be perfect for it. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Spotify or Shopify, excuse me.
I did the same thing the other day.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Cha-ching.
Third period of the DNVR Avalanche.
Makes sense that you have that tiff. I was like, so I just say this.
I mean, you gotta. I feel like you have to say it. The Avs should be saying it right now. It feels like they're in the money.
Here comes the money. Money.
I do want to talk about a number of other players, but I want to get Jared Bednar's thoughts on some of the Avs players from tonight too. So let's hear it from the head coach on another big fat win.
We're going to start over here with Terry Pride. Terry, go ahead.
If you can step back, if you're capable of stepping back, how impressed by all of this, the record, the performance, the dominance, how impressed are you?
Yeah, well, no, really happy, pleased, and impressed for sure. Like, I think it's just probably the most important thing for me is like the focus of the team and we're on pretty even keel. You know, it's the guys are playing hard, they're playing well. We've been competitive and committed pretty much every time the puck drops. You know, so I would say it's been a long and good run here for us. Hopefully that can continue, but it's not easy to win in this league for sure, and we've had our moments, but I think like you take the season as a whole to get to this point with this record, it's been a really good job.
D-Mac the Nerds.
Things are going Gabe's way, it seems. Comments about him and how he's playing, how it's coming along.
He's really coming along, you know, like he looks like he's starting to get his legs underneath him a little bit more. He's been, because you look at his game early in the year, like he's committed to doing all the right things with and without the puck. Didn't look like he had great legs to start the season, so if the skating kind of drops off just a little bit, everything is just that much more difficult to play and do make things happen offensively, especially. But his best games, like I said earlier in the year, were after a couple days off, rested. He seemed to have some extra pop. But now we're seeing it like this is the end of a 3 and 4, and he's looked like he had great legs again tonight, and he was awesome last night, especially in the third period against Minnie. So it's starting to come together for him. Looks confident. Looks like he's finding his game again, and it was always pretty good this year, but now it's like these last couple games and a handful of others have been exceptional.
Eric Corey.
It feels like a lot of times when teams have winning streaks like the one you guys had get snapped, it takes a couple games of losses before you get back on your stride. You guys don't even have 24 hours to bounce back. You put up a performance like that. Like, how is that? What are you guys doing to make that possible?
Well, again, I'll just go back to the sort of focus and determination of the group, and we felt like we played a really good game last night. Got away from us a little bit in the second period, and they had a strong push, and we answered back in the third, so we felt good about that. And it's a shootout loss again, so not a regulation loss, and so I think it was a little bit easier to turn the page. Plus, it's not like they're rested waiting on us either. Like, they have a tough schedule, and they played last night or yesterday afternoon, and they had to come in. So both teams kind of in the same boat for today, and our guys were looking forward to kind of grinding their way through another one and then getting the day off. So, but again, I think it's the leadership focus of our group right now is what's helping us through some of those.
Corey, then Megan.
I think one guy that maybe didn't have his best day yesterday was Marty. He didn't play him at all in overtime.
He was pretty good in the game, though.
Okay. With any, just the fact that he bounced back and looked, he was everywhere tonight.
Yeah, no, he was skating well. And he had moments in yesterday's game where he was really, really good as well. Not as dangerous as I would have liked him to be because he didn't want to shoot the puck last night. I saw flashes of that today, but what he did do is he went to the interior of the ice. He gets rewarded by stopping at the net on that play by Taser, but he was impactful tonight. And if I looked at his game as a whole last night, he was committed on the defensive side, and he played hard for us yesterday too.
Megan, then Ryan.
You talked about offensive contributions for Toews maybe needing to come into his game a little bit more. He gets a goal, and it's really effective on the breakout on those early goals. Is this truer to his form?
Yes. I mean, it's, like we were zipping the puck pretty good today, and I thought all of our D really helped us on our breakouts and got us moving through the neutral zone. Like, Montreal plays with really good pace, and we had a little bit of a tough time in the first period staying with their speed coming through the neutral zone, and they created some rush chances. I thought we did a better job of sort of jamming them up later on. But that has to be part of our game as well, and it can't just be Kale. It has to be all of our guys, and they're bought into that. But I just felt like, in the recent past, that Taser had another step to take to get involved, and then you see how effective he was tonight. He was getting that, pass on the weak side of the ice on the breakouts and joining through the neutral zone and making things happen right from the drop of the puck. And what did he end up with, 1-1? Yeah. So it was a good job by him, and like to see it continue.
Go ahead, Ryan.
You said that you wanted to see Marty shoot more, but in other instances, we've seen Marty put the team on his back and make some great plays. Do you prefer him to be more of the shooter or more of the playmaker? Which one?
Well, it's got to be a balance.
Yeah.
Like if he's seeing guys open and he can make the play and they can shoot it, great. But when I just find that there's Marty, he's such an elusive skater that he can kind of take whatever ice is given to him, and he gets into the interior of the ice sometimes with his skating, and we've got good traffic at the net, and sometimes I don't think you need to look for much more than put it there, and because I think he can score from distance. He's got a great shot. He can place it where he wants it, and if you have any type of screen in traffic, sometimes the best play is just deliver it to the net, you know. So I think it has to be a balance for him. I want him to continue to be creative. I want him to continue to use his skill and his instincts, but I want to kind of try and change him a little bit, that when he does use all that and he gets into the interior of the ice and into areas where I think he can score, then I want him to shoot it.
Calling then Jesse.
Brock Nelson's had some great games, obviously, this being one of his top ones, 4 points. What can you say about him and that line playing tonight?
Yeah, they're coming together. I've liked a lot of their games here recently, and tonight they kind of set the tone for us. They were our best line, and Mac was under the weather and not feeling great for the entire game, and he did a nice job battling through it, and Marty was obviously good with Lecky, but that line was dangerous right away, off the rush, in zone play, and doing a great job on the checking side of it too. So they got us going in the right direction for sure tonight. It's good to see some go in for Brock too, and some of the chances he's getting. He's been consistently, building chances, but I think it's, you want to see your guys get rewarded for that. I know that he went through some frustration early in the year, but now things are starting to go in for him, so it's a good sign.
Last two, Jesse and Evan.
Mackenzie told us that he's feeling a lot better, finding the puck better, moving well on his edge as well. 7-2, maybe doesn't feel like you guys needed a great goalie performance. He came up with a couple big saves early in the game. Just your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I thought he was great tonight. Yeah, early penalty kills, couple of really dangerous looks from them. That kind of keeps the game where we want it to be and gives us a chance to build the lead. And again, I thought we did a nice job on the checking side, but for sure, you always need a handful of big saves on any given night, and he provided those for us tonight.
Evan.
I know it's early to look at the standings and you're only competing against yourself, but second best team in the league's behind you in the division. Third best, you saw Minnesota yesterday, they're red hot.
Yeah.
Is it, under normal circumstances, you guys would have created a gap now, but it's not keeping that way. So is it good to maybe have these teams behind you that can force you to maybe not get complacent maybe at this time? I
think we're looking at that every day, especially when you get on a little bit of a streak, your teams see you. Like I touched on, I think you're going to get, every team's best night and best game. So it's motivation enough for us and what we're trying to accomplish. I don't think we need that. I'd love to have a lot more breathing room, but we don't. So our division is good. We've said it for years. This is a difficult division. There's a lot of powerful teams in this division, and we just want to keep building our game and, again, like you said, competing with ourselves.
Okay, thanks, Jared.
Thanks.
When you're this good, there's nobody else but yourself to compete with, I guess. Chat over 100 likes. Thank you very much. We got our Dr. Dubs winner shots here. We appreciate you. Take your medicine. Get the Dr. Dubs in the chat for our Supporters Club members. Good stuff. Pop quiz, chat. Who is the best plus-minus player in the NHL? Give you 5 seconds, chat. Get your answers in. The answer is Nathan McKinnon. Second best is Cale Makar. Third best, Arturi Lehkonen. Fourth best, Marty Necas. Fifth best, Devon Toews. This is in the NHL. This is not the Avs list. The 5 best plus-minus players are all Avs. And I know plus-minus is a
when your goal
silly
differential
stat.
is what it is. Yeah, that's going to reflect nicely. But
don't read too much into it, but I know it's been going around. It's hilarious.
All the Avs are good. Tiff said it best.
Facts around that. And look.
Got a smart chat. Good job, guys.
It's funny. Yeah, look at you all know it. You're all in there. Apparently, McKinnon was sick. Yeah, you wouldn't have known that if Bednar didn't tell anybody. But 3-point night.
You got to do it, though, if you're the coach. Like, you're a star guy. He's a warrior.
Yeah, it picks up a 3-point night. It's funny because the Avs have other, I think, more interesting storylines, at least in the Avsosphere to Avs fans, about oh, Gabe Landeskog's back. Oh, they have a 2C with Brock Nelson. Oh, what happens when they get Nichushkin back? Yeah, Nathan MacKinnon has 44 points in 25 games and is in the lead in the NHL for points. He's in the lead for goals. He's in the lead for points per game of players that have played at least 10 games. And he's doing it all at even strength. He has a handful of power play points, of course, but compared to everybody else, no one is even in the ballpark of what Nathan MacKinnon is doing at even strength and at all in general. The next closest player is Macklin Celebrini, who is 8 points behind him.
He's been the most consistently impactful player in the NHL this year.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can argue it.
He is having...
He'll have a 3-point night on a night he was sleepy and relatively,
Right. Like, that's just another day for Nathan MacKinnon.
Just at the office, woke up, scored a couple goals.
And Nathan MacKinnon knows how to get points. He's no stranger. He's had over 100 in his last 3 seasons. He had a 140-point season in there, which is ridiculous, and what he's on pace for to do this year. But that year, he ended up with 51 goals and 89 assists, which is outrageous
Great
numbers. Year. He's already at 20.
How many goals would be like genuinely shocking? Like, what's a 50-goal season is obviously really impressive, but that's certainly seemingly in the cards at this point. Like a 75-goal season, 80-goal season.
I couldn't even go. If he got to 70, it would be...
the guys don't do that anymore.
Honestly, if he got to 65, it would be unbelievable. Like... 60 would be really, really, really impressive, but he's just started so good that it's like, well, maybe. I mean, it could happen. 65 would be, he's not a good enough shooter to be a 65 goal scorer. And that's not a knock on him. He's obviously unbelievable, but has always been the volume guy that gets by with that. He hasn't needed to be that guy this year. His finishing rates are ridiculous. 18.5% actual shooting for the record. But
I mean, it kind of feels like, like Nikola Jokic added a 3-point shot these last couple years.
It's similar.
And now it's just like, what the hell are you supposed to do with this dude?
Nathan MacKinnon learned how to finish, and he's still going to shoot the puck 400 times this year. So good luck. Like, I don't know what you do with him.
He's hilarious too, because every time you have a stretch where he's a little sluggish for a couple of shifts, and right as you're about to say something, goal.
He's got the knack. Yeah. 100% the guy where you're like, okay, Nate, this is getting old. And then, okay.
All right, goal. Quick assist too.
2-point
period.
Yep.
You were saying?
You completely forgive all of the missteps because that just happens almost every night. I mean, let me actually look how many games MacKinnon has gone pointless this year. There's the one the other night against Chicago.
I'm going to say 3.
There was one against the Islanders not too long ago. There's one against Utah and one against Columbus. So 4. 4 of 25 games has Nathan MacKinnon not recorded a point in. And he's got more games in which he's scored 2 goals than he does games with no points.
Pretty
dumb.
Good. MVP.
I by a good margin if it happened tomorrow. The season's long. Of course, you have to keep going. You have to stay healthy. All of that. But this is just, it's so...
Is this the best hockey he's played?
Oh, yeah. I
was going to say it, but then I didn't want to put myself in a corner.
He's had, better individual games than maybe he has a 5-point game this year. He has some 4-goal games. I think if you looked at one individual game, you could maybe find a better game from not this year. But from a stretch of hockey standpoint, no, I don't think he's ever played hockey to this level. And that's Nathan MacKinnon himself too. Yes, but you talked about the chemistry with Natchez, the options with Lehkonen, the joy he's getting when he gets to get on the ice with Gabe Landeskog. It's an entire cohesive unit for the Avalanche that is getting the most out of the best player in the world. Like, it's all just working for Colorado.
I'm trying to think of what's something I could really harp on. What's something I could nitpick over? And really, it's just like the lack of power play production. But
Yeah.
even then, they still found the back of the net today.
Yeah, they went 1 for 4, and the last one was a fake penalty. So
Yeah,
they
really, like
went 1
of the
for
3
3.
legitimate
Yeah.
power plays you had, the process was pretty solid.
Yep, that was good. I like.
I feel like we're good for a dumb penalty a game.
Yeah,
a temper
that's
tantrum
the
penalty.
one thing that
Yeah.
I'm like. I guess try and manage your penalties a little bit better. It's more so the Brock Nelson one early in the game for me, that it's like, if your PK doesn't get you there and Blackwood doesn't play great on that PK, maybe this is a different game and you're down 1-0. The Devon Toews one at the end of the game when it was over anyway, I don't really care about. Like, is that a dumb penalty? Yes. But was the game also over? Yes. Like, who cares?
I see somebody in the Toyota chat. Tough to win a Vezina when you have amazing goalie play, which is fair.
Yeah, I don't see the Avs winning the Vezina. AJ talked about it on one of our mini pods the other week. Pretty good chance they win the Jennings as a tandem for the best goalie tandem save percentage.
Be tough to even. Who would you even say against them right now?
No one. I'd have to look at Gustafson's numbers in Minnesota, I guess, because Wallstedt has been really, really good. But that might be the only one that's really all that competitive. Seattle has really good goaltending numbers too. Grubauer's actually been decent this year, and Decord has been
good
pretty
for him,
good.
man.
Yeah, he's been a rough couple of years for him. But the Avs are in first in that regard when it comes to their tandem. I know we talked about Blackwood a little bit, but his save percentage continues to go up. A very good night for him, even if it's not like amazing because he just didn't have to face that many shots, but gets himself over that 900 hump, ends up with a 913. Maybe didn't go up. I thought it might have been up to higher than I thought. Anyway, still a good night for Blackwood. Which
His numbers are very encouraging right now.
Yeah. And a night like tonight where you go, yeah, that's totally sustainable too.
Yeah.
You're not getting ridiculous shutouts and things like that. Who else did I want to talk about? Devon Toews. Toews has been weird this year.
In what sense?
It's just been a little bit off at times offensively. Not that his production is horrible or anything. And like a bit funny that his goal is essentially an own goal from Montreal is why he gets credited for a goal instead of an assist. But you're finding a rhythm, I think, finally, for that top pairing in a way that hasn't fully clicked at times this year. Not that Cale Makar's the best defenseman in the league. He's doing just fine. But Toews, it felt like the fit hadn't quite connected, and it's starting to get better in the offensive zone for Devon Toews.
What do you think has led to the wonkiness?
I think it's just Toews hasn't been good enough,
Hasn't
to
been
be
that good.
honest with you.
Hasn't played his best hockey.
Yeah, AJ talked about this a little bit the other night. We put a clip out that's like, yeah, Devon Toews' offense is starting to become an issue, and he scores tonight. So you're welcome.
Sometimes you just got to tackle a little shit.
Yeah, exactly. But you're looking at a guy who absolutely is capable on the offensive end of bringing you a little bit more. And when you can get, I think a guy like Toews very much thrives in consistency. When he knows what he's getting every night, when he's doing his details every single night, that's when you start to get the best out of the guy. So hopefully this is a step for him into getting into that rhythm and going the right direction.
Is there something to be said too about a guy maybe getting, I don't think complacent is the right word on the offensive end, but just when you have so much offensive firepower on the ice at all times with you, not necessarily, I don't know if it's always his biggest priority, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, some true for sure. I think the Avs defensive scheme requires too much activation for him to fully fall asleep. But yeah, when he's out there and he goes, oh, that's Cale Makar passing to Nathan McKinnon, passing to Marty Natchez, I'll just stand over here and
just
watch
make sure
them
nothing
work.
bad happens.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So some of that is Toews needs to be better on himself. On our quest to try and find something negative to talk about today. There's just so very little. What else we got that I really wanted to get into? There was one other thing that I'm now blanking on. Well, while I think about it, let's hit the super chats. How about that?
Let's do it.
We have 3 super chats. One from Pin King for $2 that says ever clear for Rudo. No.
We don't want any fatalities.
No. No. $2 from DJ who says vote on winner shot. No Jaeger until frosted tips. No. I'm going to drink whatever I want to drink.
Didn't you guys learn you never win when you lean into peer pressure?
You guys can't trick me into this, all right? I never should have even made a bet that I would bleach my hair with you. Now you guys are trying to take a mile.
Getting greedy.
Right? Yeah, you guys, Avs got to earn it. All
keep
right?
throwing out suggestions. We'll break him.
You got if the Avs keep winning, we'll come up with something else. I already said if they keep the point streak to Christmas, I'll dye the hair still. Like that's not going to happen. They're not going to keep a point streak for another 50 days.
I would agree to that, but I've got engagement photos to take this
that would be brutal.
December.
That would be brutal.
I think I might get my ass whooped by the fiance if I do that.
That one's not going to fly. And then $5 from the Walrus who says, make sure you own Gabe in your fantasy league, guys. He's finally back. Hashtag Gabe owner.
Sound advice.
You really got to, like... I've been around on the internet enough, Walrus. I know how to pronounce the B there. I saw what you're trying to do. Gabe owner.
But
get me out of here. Get me out of here with this guy.
He has been so fun though. Like I know we're in the gutter at this point, but
totally.
He has most certainly exceeded expectations from what you could have realistically hope for, like at this time last year when the murmurs of, he's potentially back at some point down the line. For him to be this at this stage of the process, I think it's pretty incredible.
It's awesome. It's part of the reason that like stories like McKinnon leading the NHL kind of fall to the wayside is because
if Landy wins another cup, that is the single-handed, like the coolest storyline of my sports fandom. Like right now it's maybe like I still have like a soft spot for October. I just thought that was so fun, but like the craziness of it, the absurdity of missing 3 full years and coming back and maybe he's not being 2020
a player,
game, but
let alone
like,
being good.
Even being in the conversation of that is insane. Dude had to learn how to walk again.
Twice.
Yeah.
It's almost unfathomable to like forget having a normal life or whatever, just being able to be a functional person, let alone an elite hockey player.
I still want to lose track of that. Like I know everybody that's listening at this point, they are very familiar with the story. They know all the details. It's nothing new to them, but that's just not normal. And for this team to be playing and buying around that storyline, it's cool. It's sports movie-esque.
There's very little about this team that's normal, right? Yeah, teams have been this good before, but they haven't had the underlyings that the Avs have. Yeah. They haven't had the indicators that so much of this is sustainable for the Avs. They haven't had a player like Nathan McKinnon on the peak. When you actually go look at some of the best runs of best regular season stretches for teams, those are really good teams, but they lack a true, call me Nathan McKinnon, whatever you want, superstar, top player, elite, whatever. They lack that guy.
All of the above.
And then, Cale Makar exists.
Who might just be the best all-around hockey player in the world.
Like, go to NHL.com and just like start sorting hockey players by statistics.
It's a lot of Avs.
How many of them have an Av at the top? Like, it's so many. Unless you're like searching by penalty minutes or something.
I've said it for a couple weeks now. There's an inevitability to this team because they function at such a high level. The skill level is so high and they play well off of each other, which it's just what Chris McFarland and the rest of the staff have been able to do and constructing this roster and really solving some tough issues. I mean, it's not easy to solve your goaltending issue and the 2C when you're trying to pay some of the top players in the world. That's not an easy fix.
No.
And what they've been able to do with this roster is incredible.
Disgusting, frankly. Like,
it's an embarrassment of riches. Like, it's to the point now where we're like, oh yeah, Nichushkin's about to be back too.
The Avs have multiple everyday
LOC.
players not in their lineup.
And they're thumping you.
And they were 11-0-2 in November. They did not lose in regulation in the month of November as their next
I'm
game is in
thankful
December.
for Colorado Avalanche hockey.
Insane.
I had some drama this week, guys. If you go on my Twitter timeline, I took some nonsense from some PR people at CSU who were stoked that I was not paying as much attention to them. Their feelings were hurt. Well, you want to know why? I've got my mind on this hockey team right now because this team is so freaking fun.
The Avs in this era ridiculously do have another stretch where they had a 17 game point streak.
That's absurd.
Yeah. And if they get a point in their next game, they'll have matched that. And this doesn't happen. You're never going to see this again. Like, yeah, the Avs have this core for the next handful of years, and they're still going to be really, really good as we are headed into overtime. The conversation continues online at thednvr.com. But understand that you're not going to see this again. Like, this is going to be a stretch of regular season hockey that at 20 years from now, you're going to be sitting at the DNVR bar buying your kid his first beer or whatever and being like, back in my day, Nathan MacKinnon literally never lost.
You don't get it.
Right.
You weren't there.
Exactly. Like, it's that ridiculous. It's weird being an Avalanche fan from the beginning of when they moved here. And I know plenty of you in chat are, but plenty of you aren't. And as a kid, like, you don't know any better because I was young back then, but you grow up being like, yeah, the Avs were just the best team in the world, and this is crazy and normal.
There's like one stretch when I was in high school where they struggled, and then it leads to getting Nathan MacKinnon, and it's been a lot of fun since then.
And we get to sit here and say this core, they still have to win another cup, blah, 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 blah. This core might genuinely be better than a core of Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg. Like,
team with 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on it.
Right. Like, live it up, man. Live it up right now because it's good.
Enjoy the ride, y'all. Enjoy the ride. This has been incredible. I'm having a blast. I know you guys are too. Soak it up. This is fun. If you can't enjoy this, don't be a sports fan.
All right. We're wrapping this thing up. We appreciate y'all hanging out for this one. Go check out the Black Friday sale. Up to 90% off shirts and 30% off everything in the store. ALLCITYNetworkStore.com. Go get in on it. A bunch of cool Avs shirts in there. I'm picking up a couple myself. So
we do have sick Avs gear.
Yes, it is very cool stuff. Also, Kaylee and Makar. We're making it a thing, chat. He's an alien. It's going to happen. Putting it out there. That's it. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. We are off Monday, so we will be back for the game on Tuesday. We hope to see you there. We'll see you on the next one.
We all silly like the mayor.